Hey everyone, it's me, John Jacob Sims Player Smith, and welcome back to my channel. So I have a lovely surprise for you all today. Today I'm showing off the mostly finished Gallifrey, or at the very least, the citadel and capital of the planet Gallifrey, from my favorite franchise, Doctor Who. Now, in The Sims 4, to recreate a place like Gallifrey, it's kind of hard, obviously. You can't do it perfectly. But I decided one of the best worlds to do Gallifrey in, or to make a Gallifrey from, I decided personally would be Chestnut Ridge in The Sims 4. That came with The Sims 4 Horse Ranch. Mainly because it has lots of like deserts and mountains. And even though there's some greenery and vegetation over here, I feel like it was just the most appropriate. Especially since Gallifrey in the show, you know, out of all the worlds in Doctor Who, I would say it probably bears the most similarity to Chestnut Ridge in Sims 4. But without further ado, let me show you Gallifrey, or the capital citadel of Gallifrey. Now, obviously, from a distance, it's going to look a bit more like Gallifrey, but if you get up close, it is going to look a little funky. Especially because, you can't really make a gargantuan mega city in The Sims 4 like you would be in, I guess, Doctor Who. Especially, not even Doctor Who because of special effects. But if we imagine those little roof decorations there are like skyscrapers, and that these are towers, it's looking actually pretty darn close. Like, the only thing really missing from the exterior that I feel like this place definitely will need is the transduction barrier, which I plan on being basically like a glass barrier surrounding the Gallifrey as best as possible. It's not going to be complete just because you can't really do that in Sims 4. And this lot's already really huge. It's on a 64 by 64 lot in Chestnut Ridge. And one thing I'll say is with this lot is you're probably going to notice a little bit of lag. And frankly, there's kind of no avoiding it sometimes. But let me show you the interior. So obviously we have like some turrets, spacey turrets out here and stuff to make it look like the Sims 4 Journey to... Well, these are from the Sims 4 Journey to Batuu, and I know no one likes the Star Wars pack, I don't blame you. We also have like a little observatory here. This is like to keep an eye out for any invaders or aliens, so to speak. But while this lot, I intend it to be Gallifrey, anyone could really use this lot for a lot of different things. Like, I definitely plan on using it as like a custom venue, as well as like a residential lot, like a rental residential lot, which I haven't played too much around with the custom venues, but I have a lot of hope for them because I think even though they're a little glitchy, they could actually be really fun for gameplay and for telling stories that are inspired by Doctor Who. So, let's go down to the ground floor, shall we? So, this is this little space here with all the statues, security cameras, and stairs. This is the Panopticon, which is basically the center. It's supposed to be one of the largest sections of the capital, and I tried to do that justice here. And if you notice, the floors are glowing a little. So one thing about this lot is that it's going to be a little dark in some areas, and that's okay. Mainly because Gallifrey in the show, the bits we see of it, and that's probably just due to budget, stuff at the time, it's a little dark. You don't really see a lot of details sometimes. But yeah, the Panopticon, all the different stairs leading to different parts of the capital, which here I decided since this is going to be a residential rental, these will lead to different chapter houses or different units on this lot. But before we get into the different units, let me show you around the different sectors of Gallifrey here. So we have an elevator This is going to be like the lobby, the landing site, so to speak. This is where you're going to first spawn, and you're going to appear there. There's no doors leading to the outside at all, and you're surrounded by mountains, or at least my attempt at making mountains, and you're not going to be able. Let me remove that mailbox. I guess we can keep it, but yeah, no, it's not really necessary. Anyway, yeah, so basically, yeah, it reminds me, I should put a mailbox over here actually. Anyway, yeah, Gallifrey is very opposed to outsiders, so they're not letting anyone in. And they kind of don't usually leave either. Like, they're not really a prison, but they're kind of xenophobic, honestly. So they're not really trying to leave. They're not trying to let anyone in. So that's why there's no doors or windows, really. Because Gallifrey is a technological alien civilization, and they like to stay at home. Obviously, some of them, more famous Time Lords from Gallifrey, leave home and do all sorts of stuff, like the Doctor, or his enemies, their enemies, her enemies, whatever. But, you can only do. For this lot, I definitely wanted to try to make it look like the home of the Time Lords who are in the higher classes, the political classes, like so to speak. So, for instance, this is the High Council room. It's like a little private area here for meetings, but this is the main area where different council members will sit to discuss their plans and debate even, as well as another little sitting area and a bathroom. But then if we go over here, which is actually kind of cool, like look at this. This is the war room. And I did get a lot of stuff from Journey to Batu again, The Sims 4 Journey to Batu, but for this type of lot, it really is a good pack for it. Journey to Batu is not good for a lot of other stuff, but it is good for some of the stuff on this lot because it's alien, spacey, technological. So yeah, this is the war room. This is where they talk about, defending Gallifrey and if they're at war plans and all that. So if you're not a big fan of the show, this could look cool. You don't have to use it. Also, over here is the president's little office here. The Lord President of Gallifrey. His office, or their office, because it could be a her or a they. But what you'll notice is that there's two bookcase doors here, which look like bookcases on the outside, but they're actually doors, and they lead to different rooms. Plenty of bathrooms in this lot, don't worry about bathrooms. But yeah, so over here we have like a secret little place, and this is mainly going to house what I'm interpreting as the Time Scoop, which is ancient Time Lord bad device. All you need to know. But then over here, with this other bookcase, we have a secret room leading to the Cardinal's office. And on Gallifrey, they have different types of leaders, cardinals, castellans, lots of different types of leaders, so to speak, kind of like their version of senators and representatives, sort of, except definitely not elected. Definitely not. And look what I just noticed. See, this lot's never done. So I will fix that, but I'll continue with the tour for now. This lot is so big that it's hard to get all of it done. It really is. Like, it takes a while. Like, no one's moved in here yet, but I definitely plan on moving some Time Lords in here. I kind of am waiting for The Sims 4 Royalty and Legacy to come out before I do more with my Doctor Who inspired gameplay because it's going to be really helpful. And I'll make another video explaining why, especially why I'm excited for that pack despite all the horrible Sims 4 stuff going on in the news. But this is the Castellans, or yeah, security counts room basically. Gallifrey is real big on security. They don't want anyone breaking in to Gallifrey illegally. Like I said, they're very xenophobic. So like, for better or for worse, that's one of their qualities. They don't like intruders. But if we go over here, this is really cool. This is really cool. So this is like a jail cell. Got like a little skeleton in here, if you can see that. Someone didn't survive. Interrogation, I guess. But yeah, we have like Little sim guns here. I don't know if y'all noticed that even. I think there's some of them over here, right? No? Okay. I meant to add more sim ray guns. I'm surprised there aren't. Huh. Okay. Well, there's yet. Oh, here we go. Yeah, they're in here. Little sim ray guns. Cool, cool. And then when we go over here, like I said, this is like a little courtroom. This I thought was so cool. We got the judge seat, and I play tested this to make sure that Sims can actually sit here, and they can. So this is the judge seat, the witness stand, the private a defender, and the prosecutor desk, as well as like a little room for jury. So this one room here would be a really good place for like a custom venue or getaway where you're trying to do like a court type scenario. So if anyone wants to ever like play court in The Sims, it's not easy obviously and it requires some imagination, but this is a good place to sort of do that. Like it looks very much so like a courtroom, so I'm very proud of that. Yeah, Gallifrey definitely has their own court, lots of cameras as you can imagine. Now security's pretty tight on Gallifrey. And then over here we have a library slash archive, lots of bookshelves, some computers and research machines, a chess table, little dioramas and artifacts, papers. I definitely wanted to make this a really cool space because basically, as we start getting to the bedrooms, you're going to see there's not a lot of room for Sims to actually sleep, so the residential rental units are going to be kind of tight, but the space down here means it won't really matter much what you have up there. You're gonna have plenty to do across this lot. And now, before we get to the bed, one of the units over here, I want to take you over to my little imaginary TARDIS repair shop. You can tell they need repair because they're not blue, they're red. Obviously, all of them need repaired according to Timewood philosophy because they're not supposed to look like a police box. But, what else am I going to have in The Sims 4 that could possibly resemble a TARDIS? And then like this is like a loading dock, basically, where TARDISes land when they're visiting Gallifrey or returning or leaving. Like there's some spares here. And then of course another little bathroom. I love how in most of the bathrooms I try to incorporate, like there's a few normal showers in this lot too, but I try to incorporate a lot of like futuristic looking showers as well as the talking toilets, and there's even a hot tub in this one because why not? Luxury, right? But yeah, so now we'll start getting to some of the bedrooms because, like I said, there's going to be some bedrooms here, and they're a little tight. Like here is 4 beds and a kitchen, all rolled into one space, and they actually don't even get their own bathroom. They're relying on some of the many bathrooms scattered across this place. Like all of down here, except for this unit over here, this is all going to be available to every sim on the lot. The only places that will be marked for some other room or some other area will be the ones like this, which have the beds in it and the kitchens and stuff. These are their own private units. So everywhere else, though, is public, shared space, so Sims can go in all of these. And because it's so spread out, it's never going to look too crowded, but that's okay. That's good. You can't really have a lot of Sims in your lot anyway without cheats and or mods, and I've tried experimenting with MCCC, whatever it's called. I didn't know what I was doing, so I'm scared to mess with it. A lot of people love it though, and I bet you it is really useful. So yeah, this will be the one of the chapters. I believe this one's going to be the either the Scalendes or Dromean chapter. Each unit's going to have, instead of like addresses, going to be different chapters. And these are actually like different organizations, families, dynasties, I don't know what you call it. But basically, these are all from the franchise. So these aren't names I'm just making up. These are actual names in the franchise. I couldn't tell you how to explain it well, but they're there. Also, before we get into the other rooms here, these statues, best I could do to represent like the founders of Gallifrey. They're supposed to represent them, but obviously, can't get too Time Lordy. Can't make them look too realistic in The Sims 4. We have a pottery school in The Sims 4, and I wish we could make statues That was such a missed opportunity. Like, that would have been so cool. It really would have been. But yeah, so over here with these rooms, like there's a lot more single beds in this lot because Gallifreyans don't really woohoo. They're not usually about that. In fact, in some stories, they don't actually reproduce. They just kind of like have these things called looms, which sort of just make new Time Lords like as adults. Like they're just the children are adults essentially from the get go. Like just they have to go to school and stuff, but they're in adult bodies already. It's weird. But yeah, that's in some stories. Other stories they reproduce like normal, so just depends on who you believe. But this is the Prydonian chapter. This is probably one of the more famous chapters of Gallifrey. This is the one the Doctor actually grew up with. And then over here, we'll have the what are their name? What is their name? I believe this is the possibly the Scalendis. They're color coordinated. So Prydonians are red. Green is Arcalian. That's what it is. It's Arcalian. This is the Arcalian chapter. Yeah, they're gonna have their own rooms over here. Yeah, and then over here is the Nope, this is the heliotrope chapter. You can tell because the pink and purples. Cerulean is the blues, and then the whites are either Scalendes. The white gray is either Scalendis or Droman. I will clarify that later, but for basically in this video, doesn't really matter. Either way, there's a lot of rooms here, a lot of space, a lot of Sims can be here. It's like a little podium up here for little speeches. Have like an audience down here, which that would be kind of cool actually, yeah. Okay, but yeah, so there's more bedrooms obviously, like plenty of beds and stairs and ladders. Speaking of which, we haven't even gone to the basement yet, and the basement's really cool. Can't wait to show you guys that. But yeah, plenty of kitchens, bathrooms, bedrooms. Some of the bedrooms have like little stuff in them. I try to leave them mostly plain though, because I do want to share this on the gallery. And when this is on the gallery, I bet you guys want to make your own little changes to it and, additions and fix it up how you want. So I'm not trying to add too much detail to the bedroom areas, especially because you don't know what kind of Sims exactly are going to live there. So it's best to like save some space for them. But yeah, even more bedrooms though. So like these are going to feel sort of like tight, cramped spaces, but you can always change it up too. I'm planning on packing these units. So, because I want to have as many Time Lords as I can live here on Citadel and Capital. But, obviously not all of them can. But that's why there's so many beds. I want to pack this place as much as possible. Now, before we get to the basement, I did want to show you how there's some stairs leading up to another little tower here. These are going to be the section here that represents basically like space traffic or space traffic command, or basically more observatory, watching the stars, making sure no one's entering Gallifrey territory and stuff, as well as time command or something like that, where like they're watching for any time machines that are trying to illegally enter. Gallifreyans are really big on security. They are very xenophobic. Like, there are some good ones out there, but there's some pretty darn bad ones because of that. So, they're very powerful, but very, very xenophobic. But one thing I also want to show you guys and gals and whoever's is the basement. So you get to the basement in a cool way. So again, I utilized a secret bookcase, which should be, I have to find it for one thing. Oh yeah, it's near the courtroom. So over here, we have another little bookcase, and even a little control panel here. Another thing from this, a lot of get to work and during the Sims 4 during the Batu, and Sims 4 jungles, whatever it was called, the jungle one. There's just a lot of packs here. Like there's a lot of packs. I'll tell you at the end how many are needed. But yeah, there's like this ladder down here to a secret basement, which is where the Time Lords keep all their secrets and the cloisters. So this is definitely going to be an area where I'll put all the Time Lord graves over time. It's basically going to be like their crypt. Lots of ghosts will be around here, and these will Ghost will represent the cloister wraiths. I feel like there's a way to keep ghosts down here and not have them go upstairs at all. I definitely want to see how. I might be able to if there's like a setting on here. Though I don't think there is. Like, I don't think I can access doors because I don't live here. But yeah, there might be a way to lock ghosts down here, which, yeah, that would be ideal. It's like they got some vaults. Now, obviously, you would keep money in here normally, but there's a lot of stuff that I want to put in here. I don't know if I'll get away with it. Maybe with the move objects on, I will probably. But yeah, there's like some like some little skeletons. Gonna be some graves down here, spider webs. I try to give it a very creepy vibe down here, almost maze-like, because it is the cloisters. This is where Gallifreyan's secrets are. No one's supposed to be down here. This is where all their secret artifacts lie, including eventually their Eye of Harmony. All these different like secrets and artifacts that are going to be long forgotten, but for now very new. Like this whole lot's very new. And obviously, there's still some stuff I want to fix on it, which annoys me that there's still more. But like, yeah, there's just always more stuff to fix on a lot like this because of how big it is. Like, this is a huge lot. It's a 64 by 64, and it obviously has a lot of rooms. I'm keeping it as generic right now, but like eventually I am gonna have to make it a residential rental, and that's when I'll move in all these Time Lords I pre-made. I'm just sort of waiting to do videos on that when The Sims 4 Royalty and Legacy comes out, because the stuff in that pack is really going to help me with my Doctor Who gameplay. Now, like I said, I'm definitely going to upload this lot to the gallery, but it uses a lot of packs. So, obviously, not everyone pirates their packs like I do. Maybe. Not saying I do, but saying, some people do. Some people do. But yeah, they use a lot of packs, so you're going to need, in order to play Gallifrey, you're definitely going to need The Sims 4 Adventure Awaits, Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies, Life and Death, Love Struck, For Rent, Horse Ranch, Growing Together, High School Years, Cottage Living, Snowy Escape, Eco Lifestyle, Discovery University, Island Living, Get Famous, Seasons, Cats and Dogs, City Living, Get to Work, My Wedding Story, Star Wars Journey to Batuu, Realm of Magic, Strangerville, Jungle Adventure, Parenthood, Vampires Dine Out, Spa Day, Outdoor Retreat, Crystal Creation Stuff, Home Shelf Hustle Stuff Pack, Paranormal Stuff Pack, Tiny Living Stuff Pack, Moschino Stuff Pack, Backyard Stuff Pack, Romantic Garden Stuff Pack, Cool Kitchen Stuff Pack, Modern Retreat Kit, SpongeBob House Kit. I know. You can actually shit on me for that one. You have to, definitely. Kitchen Clutter Kit, Restoration Workshop Kit, Sleek Bathroom Kit, Refined Living Room Kit. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, I can't go through all these. Basically, a lot of kits. It's a lot. It's a lot. This is actually very bad. Come to think of it, like, I've watched videos on YouTube where someone's complaining about how much is on there, but it's like, no, yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is actually 5. Oof, oof, oof. That's a lot of packs. So basically, if you have every Sims pack, more or less, you'll be fine. If you don't, you might miss a few things. And, not much I can do about that right now. But if people really, really want me to make this whole lot a bit more or a bit less pack heavy, I'd be open to the challenge. But for now, I'm just going to go with this, and I'll definitely share it on the gallery as soon as I'm completely sure I'm done with it. Well, I'm not adding the transduction barrier for a bit still, but when I'm done with it, I definitely will add this to the gallery and let you all play with it, okay? All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed seeing Gallifrey, or the Citadel of Gallifrey. And yeah, I'll see you next time. I'm excited. Can't wait. See ya. And oh, before I go, please, please, please subscribe. That would be really helpful and I would really appreciate it. Or if you don't want to subscribe, just like my video or leave a comment. Do something. It helps the algorithm. Okay? All right. Have a good night, y'all.